Kyoko versus Yuki. Kind of like Batman v Superman, but actually good. Kyoko vs. Yuki is an action film from director Daisuke Yamaguchi, the man behind movies like Red Room and Muzan-E, but this one is a bit more light-hearted than those previous films. It does include everything you expect from one of his films, like gore and, of course, lots of nudity. Sadly, this film is not available with English subtitles, so I'll do my best to explain to you the story. The film starts off by introducing Kyoko, and from what I understand, she's this teenage killing machine working for the Yakuza. And then we're introduced to Yuki, just your typical schoolgirl but in a lesbian relationship with one of her classmates. We are introduced to her from what I assume a Yakuza member who tries to have sex with her, probably through prostitution. Like I said, I can't speak Japanese. And through that she stumbles across a briefcase, which is what Kyoko is after. Then we have this really strange scene where a woman eating KFC gives money to this junkie looking man. Parallel to that, we see that Yuki's relationship is going well, but they have a bit of an argument and Yuki's girlfriend runs away. We then see Kyoko at the same time torturing our Yakuza member that tried to sleep with Yuki. We return to the KFC lady having sex with Yuki's girlfriend, and honestly I didn't really get that part. I don't know how they're connected, just comes out of nowhere. And that's where we see Daisuke Yamaguchi talent at making sex scenes, since you know, he was a Navy director. Kyoko comes behind our KFC lady, kills her, and kills Yuki's girlfriend. Yuki discovers her girlfriend's body and she does what anyone would do, obviously, having sex with the corpse. I didn't think I would see necrophiliac scissoring ever in my life, but thank you, Japanese cinema, thank you. And that leads to our first fight between our two feisty schoolgirls. And Yuki wins that fight by cutting Kyoto's hand, and we see that Kyoko might be a cyborg. I say might, because again, I don't understand the fucking movie. And of course, like any great versus movie, it leads to a big ass fucking final fight for the briefcase. And I won't spoil you who wins. That's the fun with these versus movie, you never know who's gonna win. Did I enjoy Kyoko vs. Yuki? Now I wasn't sure because although I did really enjoy Muzan-E, I didn't really care for Red Room 1, so I wasn't sure about the director's previous films, but I'm slowly starting to get more and more into his work. Although this one looks like it's very different from his other work, I mean it's definitely different than Muzan-E, it's different than Red Room, and from what I can see from the trailers, it's different than Girl Hell 99 and a plethora of Daisuke Yamaguchi's other films that are usually darker. Even though they have these little comedic moments, they are usually way darker. This one is an action comedy through and through. The gore again is plentiful and it's very absurd. The fight scenes are okay for this type of film. It's a very low budget shot on video film from Japan in the early 2000s, so I wasn't expecting, you know, Bruce Lee type of fighting, but I was pleasantly surprised by the fight scenes. They're fun, they're dynamic, the camera moves. Like I said previously, there is a lot of nudity, a lot of sex scenes, just to rinse your eyes a little bit in between the action scenes, because it's still a very short film, but it doesn't feel long. It's 43 minutes and it feels like 30. The pace is very good, and for a film in Japanese that doesn't have subtitles, it's fairly easy to follow. If you look at the back of the box, or if you look at the IMDb synopsis, you can get the plot very easily. It's just a typical short 1v1 kind of film. The only thing I would really criticize is, of course, the terrible sound effects. Just like in Red Room, the sound effects are over the top and comedic. But I think that's intentional. I think this is supposed to be a very light-hearted comedy that's just there to, you know, pass the time, pass the 45 minutes, see some beautiful women, see some great action, see some blood, and then it's over. And for that, I would highly recommend it if you're into when you buy the Twisted Anger DVD, it comes with a shit ton of trailers for Daisuke Yamanuchi's other films, and honestly they look very fun, so don't be surprised to see more of his films on this channel. So thank you again for watching, see you guys next time.